YouTube, go on YouTube. Big up and welcome back to another video. So I'm at the Mercer yard here, guys, in Louisville. And I'm going to do some work on my APU because I'm going to be here for a while. I always have some planes flying over, right over where the terminal is here. Yeah, so I'm going to do some work on this APU. It's a Thermo Tripac Evolution. So when I bought the truck, it was on it, but it wasn't working. Back in January, I did some checks and found that the serpentine belt, it was broken. And then I also noticed that the AC compressor was stuck. So, you know, I ended up buying a smaller belt in order to run the alternator. And when I put that smaller belt on and crank up the APU, it wouldn't stay on. You know, it would shut down. So I'm figuring that it has an alternator problem because I was getting that signal in the bunk instrument panel that the alternator is not working. Anyway, it was in January and I couldn't bother deal with it. I couldn't fix it in the winter time. But now it's summer and it's hot. And in the winter I have a bunk heater. So I had the option not to run the APU for heat. But now in the summer, the only option is to idle my truck, and I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna try and fix the APU, guys. So that's what this video is about. So let's go see what's going on. So I managed to get the unit started by using the Tripac Evolution software. So right now I'm running an alternator output test to see if the alternator is charging, which I basically know it's not charging. But it could be that a wire not going to the battery or something, so let me just do this test first, see what's going on. But the good thing, the unit is running and it's running nicely. So here you can see the alternator. This is supposed to be spinning freely. The AC compressor should say. This is supposed to be spinning freely and it's stuck. So as I said before, the belt was broken and I bought a smaller belt in order to run the alternator for heat, to run the system for heat, and I wasn't getting anything. So we'll see how that goes. Now I had to figure out why the alternator was not charging. So, you know, I had to go do some reading on Google and watch a few YouTube videos as to how alternators work. Then I went and I removed all the electrical connections to the alternator, and I found that all the connections were badly corroded, especially the connection that carries the sense and excite wire. Those wires are very important. The excite wire is the wire that carries a voltage from the control panel to the alternator that basically kickstarts the process for it to produce electricity. And then the sense wire is what monitors the voltage for the voltage regulator to do its job. And that was badly corroded. So I cleaned everything off properly, positive, ground and all of that, clean them up, reconnected them snug and firm, started the unit. The alternator was now working. Next thing was to deal with the AC compressor. Now Thermo was selling the compressor for near $600. So I bought one off Amazon for $130 delivered. And I had to do some adjustment. I had to take the back off the new one, replace it with that of the old compressor for the lines to connect. Did all of that, mounted the compressor, and I bought a serpentine belt, the proper one, at Thermo for $60-something plus, and saw to it that the belt was connected properly firm, because if the belt is not collected with the right amount of tension, the voltage is going to be off. So I saw to it that was firm and okay. So I started the unit again and ran it for a while. Didn't shut down, everything was good, no codes. So the next step was to vacuum the system, which I did, and I did it for about 45 minutes. Pulled a vacuum for 45 minutes plus, and then I left it overnight to monitor whether if there was leaks. Woke up in the morning, everything was good. Began adding refrigerant, compressor kicked in, it took 12 ounce, and then it stopped. Unit stopped. When I came and checked the software, the alarm that it was what came in was code 10. I think it's high back pressure, and when I checked what that meant, it meant that the fan was not working. So I went to the back of the cab, up where you see that fan with the black looking box. The AC condenser is there with that fan that dissipates the heat from the condenser. Fan was not working, was not spinning, was stuck. So I had to buy a new fan at Thermo, $360 something. Replace the fan, started the unit, still wasn't working. So I figured, because the fan was not working, it must have blown the fuse. So I went to the control panel and I found a blown fuse, and that fuse was the F11 fuse. It was the fan fuse, 25 amp fuse, and it was like $6 something for a couple of them at AutoZone. Replaced the fuse, went again, started the unit, took the rest of refrigerant, 24 ounces in all for the system, and yeah, cold air, and now everything is running okay, and I'm hoping it stays that way. I'm comfortable during the days now, running the APU, and yeah, if I can do it, guys, you can do it. Just read stuff and acquaint yourself, and these simple things, as I say all the while, why spend money and things like that when you can just in a downtime work on these little things. So yeah, save myself a bunch of money, guys, and as usual, yeah, thanks for watching, and it hope it helps somebody out there.